Sammy's running like a scalded dog.
Look out! Oh my God!
I want to see that one more time.
Oh my God!
Okay, one more time.
Oh my God!
Hello, it's Caro, and I'm back with another AEW Dynamite review. And honestly, I just want to talk about the main event because the main event was so good. But before we do that, we're gonna go through the rest of the main card. So let's start with our opener with Cody and Joey Janela. So, as usual, this was a really great match. I always enjoy seeing Cody and Joey together, and they had some really great chemistry, really great in-ring spots. And Cody ended up winning in the end, unsurprisingly. And I had this sort of epiphany when I was watching this match. So I noticed that Cody's been in a lot of opening matches on Dynamite. And I think that's a testament to his skill and how much responsibility not only that's been placed on him, but also how much of a reliable figure he's being seen in the company. Cody's been in a lot of opening segments with people like Sammy Guevara. He was literally in one opening last week, and I think it just speaks to his work ethic, so I think that's really incredible to have. One of the biggest differences that you've seen in this episode compared to the other ones is that for the first time they are live. For the first time since they went the taping route back in late March, they're back in dailies, and it was an obvious night and day difference between the taped shows and the open air environment that we have now. The crowd noise here definitely helps a lot, so not only I'm glad that they've followed social distancing guidelines, but also keeping everything really compact together. But despite that, you could still feel a lot of the crowd energy. I like the route AEW's gone with that. I like how they're kind of like stationing the wrestlers around the ring and just having them provide the crowd noise. It definitely adds a hell of a good difference. I just really want to talk about the main event. Up next, we had Nyla Rose and Kenzie Page, and I was told from Twitter that Kenzie Page was actually a local talent in the area, so that was pretty cool to know. Yeah, so nothing much to say about this one other than the fact that it's just a reminder of how dominant, how strong Nyla is as champion, and she's definitely someone that's improved a lot since debuting last year. And it was nice to see the AEW Women's Championship again because, like, it's so tiny. Like, it's such... I don't think it was obvious on Riho, but on Nyla, it's like a little tiny belt. Look at me, it's tiny. I'm gonna wear this around. I really just want to talk about the main event, y'all. Let's be honest. And then we had an MJF promo, and MJF, it was super, super, super cheesy, and I loved all the green screen effecting there. There's that one part where the technician guy, like, grabbed his chair and then replaced it with another one. That's so funny. Didn't he also coin the term, like, overhealed or something like that? Or that was, like, in the next promo, but overhealed. Oh, MJF. Then we had Jon Moxley versus Frankie Kazarian. Mox looked so great walking into that arena. He had the belt on his shoulder and he owned it. That's how we stand a great champ. Frankie Kazarian was really great here, and this was a good match as well. Mox obviously had the upper hand here, but this match was more to set up a new angle with Moxley. So at the end of the match, when Mox won, the Dark Order ended up attacking him, and Brody Lee came out of the shadows and challenged him to a match at Double or Nothing. So at the pay-per-view in a couple weeks, we are seeing Jon Moxley versus Brody Lee, which should be really interesting. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen at this match. Brody Lee's been in a lot of matches recently where he's either wrestled local talent or people on the roster who, in kayfabe at least, wouldn't necessarily stand a chance against Brody Lee. So it'll be cool to see Brody Lee actually have competition in Moxley. So yeah, really great start to a nice build, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes here. Please retain Mox, please. Main event, main event, main event. So next we had QT versus Lance Archer, and I really like how they're having Lance face off members of the Nightmare family. Last week he faced Dustin, and now he's facing QT. And the big talking point with everyone on social media last night wasn't necessarily the match itself, but what happened afterwards. So basically, after the match, Jake the Snake Roberts came into the ring with his signature snake, as you've all seen in old WWF footage, and basically attacked Brandy Rhodes with it. It was a very heelish spot, albeit uncomfortable, but I think it got the point across to Cody, who in kayfabe was in the showers. So it was so sad going through Twitter during that segment, because literally before the match happened, Cody tweeted that he was going to hit the showers, and I'm just like, boy, oh no. Oh no. And then after the match, we had a sneak peek of the card that's going to be built up for Double or Nothing. So obviously they advertised Mox and Brody, Cody and Lance. There's going to be I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's going to be a ladder match to determine the #1 contender for the AEW title. And the card's going to look really interesting. I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing. I can't wait to see what they do to build towards that, and it should be a really great show to watch. I might be doing a watch along on Twitch. Are we at the main event yet? Or please tell me we're at the main event. Yes, we are at the main event. Oh my god, the main event was so good. I loved it. The main event was so good. It was perfect. It was entertaining. Chris, Sammy, Kenny, Matt, fantastic job. It was great. It was awesome. Okay. Calm down. It's okay. But yes, the main event was a street fight between Chris and Sammy, Double Sex Gods, versus Kenny and Matt, and this was just an entertaining ride from beginning to end. Each wrestler in this match did a fantastic and brilliant job working together and creating the best match that they could. One of my favorite things about this match was Matt Hardy. I'm going to commend Matt a lot here because he did something really interesting. He was actually switching gimmicks throughout the match, which was so cool. So he was Hardy Boys Matt, and then he turned into Broken Matt, and it just kept switching throughout the match, and it was just so... It's just so cool to see this creative freedom from someone who's not only been in the industry for such a long time, but also didn't get the chance to show off like this creative mind at least as much as he wanted to in WWE. So this is just a really good avenue for him to do exactly that. And everyone was talking about once they hit backstage that the match got really interesting. I love the ice machine spot. And how they just shoved Matt there. They're like, okay, we're just gonna leave you there. But yeah, like once they hit backstage, everything went balls off the walls insane. We had so many funny spots. So many of the crowd were just like, at least as socially as they can, like watching over this. I didn't even notice this until after the show, but apparently Britt Baker did a Instagram live of the whole thing, and I was watching clips of it, and it was just so funny. And then we had Kenny and Matt with the golf cart hitting Sammy. I'm gonna roll that footage again.
Oh my god!
So hilarious, so good. And then there was one crazy spot in the show where Kenny gets up on, I forget what it's called. Like, it's one of those machines where it helps elevate you up and down or something. I forget the terminology. You know what I'm talking about. But Kenny gets up and does a moonsault off of it, and I'm just like, oh my god, that is so crazy. You could just tell from this match that everyone just went all out with everything. Everyone put in their best effort. Everyone put in their creative ideas, and honestly, this is probably was one of the best street fights I've ever seen. Across the board, it was just consistently hectic while also being entertaining. And to all the people who say that Kenny can't do anything interesting in AEW, how about that? The show actually ended on a really cool shot. So it was Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz, Sammy, and Jake, you know, the whole Inner Circle gang. And they're flipping off the camera, and in the back because Daly's Place is actually connected to I think the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium. So it's some sports stadium. But if you looked at the screens behind them, they all lit up with the Inner Circle logo, and I thought that's a really nice shot to end the episode with. And yeah, that was Dynamite this week. Overall, it was a great show. Definitely the main event carried the show pretty heavily, and I think that's my match of the night from it. It was just a really nice addition to the show to have after being taped for so long, and I'm super looking forward to seeing what they're doing next week. We are also getting MJF versus Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing, which should be a really interesting matchup. I'm happy that they're giving Jungle Boy the spotlight that he's definitely worked for. I love his moveset. I think he's one of my favorite new AEW stars that I've been exposed to. And it should be a good match. And yeah, that was Dynamite for this week. It was great. It was awesome. So, thanks for watching. Hit the subscription button, ring the bell, like the video, do what you need to do, and I will see you next week. Also, hydrate, drink water.